Thank you, Soledad. I want to thank Soledad because I called her one day and I told her that I had this idea that I wanted to bring children from Bushwick, Brooklyn to South Africa for three main reasons. I wanted them to travel. These kids did not possess passports. Many of them had not even been to Manhattan. And I was so kind of tired of people saying, why don't you have dreams? Why don't you do this? Well, how do you dream? How do you know what you can become if your world is 6 blocks? So I wanted them to travel. The other thing is that I wanted them to serve. I think when you serve, when you volunteer, she knows that my mission statement is service is the rent we pay for living, that I steal from Marian Wright Edelman each and every day. You give of yourself and you have a sense of confidence and a feeling of goodness that I wanted these children to have. Thirdly, I wanted them to understand that though they do come from at-risk families and neighborhoods. We have kids who are dealing with domestic violence. We have children who are dealing with sexual assault. We have had children who are dealing with homelessness, gang violence. However, in the U.S., even if they live in the projects in Bushwick, they live in a project with water and a toilet and a bed, and they go to school for free, and their books are free. It might not be the best school, but they do go to school, unlike the children that they met in South Africa. They're now global ambassadors. They had to sign a contract for a year, and the global ambassadorship contract is to advocate, to educate, and to serve. I'm happy to say that they've been to Congress and they've learned to use their voice. We just got back last week from New Orleans where they rebuilt houses with St. Bernard Project in St. Bernard Parish. And their homework out of that was to write their senator and congressperson about that experience. And it's been a pleasure to read their letters. Journey for Change, I think, is my life's work. It brings together my passion for children and empowering them, the love that I have for the South African people, and I hope that being part of Black in America 2, which airs in July, people will understand that when we come up with these programs for children, to not forget the ones that may not be eligible because they don't have A's and B's in school, and to think beyond the reason why they might not have A's and B's in school, and still accept them, because my kids have a 100% retention rate in our program, and we are looking forward to expanding it to Bedford-Stuyvesant and Brownsville this coming year and next year. Lastly, I want to thank my husband, who is from Bedford-Stuyvesant and whose mother, Rose Rock, sent him to the Bushwick Salvation Army because she wanted a safe place for him to go. And my husband never forgot that. And after wondering why he continued to give back to this center and why it was actually in my will, I said, I have to check this place out. And and when I said, what do you need from me that my husband hasn't done, it was a computer lab and a library, which we have put in thanks to our foundation and also Target, a great retailer that gives $3 million a week. But it was during that time of asking the children, what kind of library do you want? What kind of computer lab do you want? That I decided to take these kids to South Africa to serve, which was the catalyst for this year, this Journey for Change. And so I really do have my husband, Chris Rock, to thank for changing my life through this center, through these children. And thank you, Soledad, so much for basically immediately saying, yes, I want to be a part of this journey. And we honestly didn't know where this journey would end up, but I think that it has ended up in a really beautiful place. And lastly, I want to thank everyone who came to support me tonight, many of whom helped me with Journey for Change. I want to thank all of my fellow honorees. It is absolutely amazing to be even thought of with you. I want to thank Women E-News and Rita. Thank you so much. And lastly, I want to thank my mother, who is here tonight, who introduced service to me, who introduced Marian Wright Edelman's writings to me. Earlier today, I happened to be with Marian Wright Edelman in Washington, D.C., on the Hill and at the White House, advocating for the 9 million children in this country who are without health insurance. And it is absolutely astonishing to me that the two people that I looked up to more than anything in the world, Marian Wright Edelman and Prince, and those are the only two people I ever wanted to meet in my life, that I have spent an Oscar night at Prince's house, and I'm now on the board of the Children's Defense Fund and spent all day with Marian Edelman. It's just...